What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 122. We're bringing you that Monday energy, and technology is always unpredictable. But
technology doesn't necessarily want to be awake on Mondays either. That was me this morning at the day job.
Yes. So we are live. If you're joining us live, join us over in the live chat. If you're watching later, awesome, comment down below. And I'm going to drop the banner so we can see our guests, which we'll get into in just one moment. But hello, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
And a huge welcome to oh, there we go. I'm like diagonal pointing. We got Greg Chun, aka Lord Muzan.
Hello.
And Abby Trott.
That's me. Oh, I'm going this way. Ready?
I know. It's reversed. It's reversed. So it's always like, where is the... Pointing to Greg was easy.
Yeah, I was like, wait, there we go. Yeah.
It always takes me too long to figure out the reverse thing. Yeah.
It was worth it. Flawless execution.
Thank you so much for being here. And
thank you for having us.
Yes. Now, it's been quite the journey for Demon Slayer. How does it feel to still be involved? Because, I mean, you both are still, your character's still alive. And we don't want them to be.
Not everyone can say that.
We're happy to have you two here.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I'm also happy you're alive.
I feel like the two of us may be kind of going the distance on this one. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's
I hope.
We'll see.
Talk to us a little bit about your Demon Slayer journey, as it were. Did you read the manga? Did you know anything about it before you came in? How has your portrayal of your character changed as things have developed? Like, especially, both of you guys had a nice little plot twist at the end of last season. And for the audience, we're not talking about this season yet because the dub's not out. So we're being chill in chat. We're being chill in the comments. Yep, awesome. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your Demon Slayer journey.
Well, I'm just watching Greg pursing his lips, so I'm assuming I'm going first. So when I first heard about the anime on Twitter, and I just remember seeing it trending on Twitter, and I was like, no, what's this Demon Slayer? That looks fun. And I just had clocked it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch that when it comes out. And then I think it was just a couple weeks later, I got an audition for Nezuko. And Nezuko was the only Demon Slayer audition I got. I think that they were casting the main 4 roles first, I believe. So I auditioned and I booked it, and I had no idea how popular the show was, and then even would grow to become, because even since then it's become insanely popular. It's overwhelming to think about at times. But Nezuko's character is very interesting, and her journey is kind of a chaotic one, as we all know. Starting off as a human and having that kind of very brief dip into Nezuko's sweet, kind of motherly character when she's still human, quickly unravels and instantly a demon in episode 1. And the battle of trying to fight off that demonness. And then, as we all know, if you're watching the show, Nezuko has various forms that she takes throughout the show. And we're still learning about Nezuko's powers, and she's still developing those powers. So her character kind of evolves and changes all the time. And as new characters are introduced to the show, like Mitsuri, we see her having that kind of a big sister relationship, that she doesn't have a big sister, or she didn't have a big sister. She was the older sister to her siblings, and so now she has that figure, and how do they interact? So it's just it's a constant evolution, and it's really fun to watch. And I have not read all of the manga. I think I'm up through 9. I kind of know what happens in the end, but I don't know how we get there in its entirety, so it's still exciting for me to see it unfold and to be a part of it as we go along.
So you've got the one spoiler in the pocket, and you're just kind of seeing how things play out.
I have a couple of spoilers.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Greg?
I had absolutely no idea what Demon Slayer was. I hadn't even heard of the anime, and up until this point in my life, I actually haven't been the biggest consumer of anime, and so when I got the audition, it was just sort of out of the blue, and they sent it to me, and there was a screenshot, and there was a video of the first time that we see Muzan holding that dude up by the neck or whatever, and they just said, "Give us your take on this." And so I don't remember exactly. I think I remember just hearing that his Japanese voice actor was very calm, but the things he was saying were pretty rude. And so I just kind of I wanted to keep it sort of chill yet sinister, and that's kind of what I tried to focus on. And it's interesting, like now that it's kind of become what it's become, and now that I've kind of followed, Muzan's backstory, we finally got to look at and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's like I want to preface this by saying I'm a nice person. Like, I'm not a bad person, but I can we cut her camera when I'm talking? But
No, this is the extra content.
Yeah.
I've always, ever since I was a kid, and this has to do with a little bit of a traumatic upbringing, that I've always dreamed of having the power to kind of eliminate people from the world that I didn't think deserved to be here. And so it's kind of interesting, this character and what he's up to and what he's doing. I think I identify more than I originally believed that I would. And so I'm awfully excited to see what happens with everything in the end. I too have the manga. I have the box set sitting here. And I'm waiting to, I've just, life's been busy and stuff, but before I go into record, I am always going to read ahead. So I have a little bit of time to kind of consider what it means to me before I actually go in and get steered by the director. I mean, I essentially want to bring in something interesting for the director to digest and then give feedback on. I don't want to offer just something generic.
Okay.
And
so
and
you do
Abby,
your prep, but do either of you watch the sub before you go in, or do you go in clean, as it were?
It's kind of varied. I think I'm trying to remember what I did. If I have the chance, I'll watch it before I go in. But when we go into dub, like, we're previewing along with the episode, and then sometimes we can't watch it ahead of time, so we're just going in and trying to figure it out as we go along. But yeah, this season, I'm gonna watch ahead. I'm gonna watch ahead. I can't not.
well,
Fair.
and also the exciting thing for you this season too is you get to talk again. How does that feel?
We hope. We hope. I'm excited for all of Nezuko's like Shakespearean monologues. She's got some theater in her back pocket. She's probably gonna bust that out at some point. Like, big Hamlet fan.
Abby does have
I
a
can't
very
wait for
deep
that.
voice she can tap into, so I'm looking forward to hearing that.
That's going to be the
Amazing
next
diction.
commission. It's going to be the next commission on your cameo.
I actually did not, it never occurred to me to watch ahead, but now that you've mentioned that, that's exactly
No,
what I'm
we
going to do.
can.
Like,
We can.
yeah, I'll totally watch ahead. That's really cool.
Have fun. This week's episode was a fun one for Musan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Very dramatic camera work.
Yes. It's very dramatic, slow-mo, and the slowest walk to get somewhere.
I timed
It's
that scene.
cool.
Oh, I
Wow.
timed that scene. It was literally 2.5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It was too long. Anyway.
It's just like, walk,
Anyway.
walk, walk.
Anyway. For the audience, we'll get to that.
Don't worry.
We will
get
I have
to that.
opinions and I have jokes. We'll get to that. Yeah.
We do have a quick question in the chat. One, we got John Knight says, hello, everyone. Sorry, we got to block your face. It's right
Hello,
there.
John.
And Abby, John Knight asks, did you enjoy meeting Japanese voice of Nezuko Akarikito?
Yes,
And-
that was super cool. So earlier this year, for those of you who don't know, Alex Lee and I got to go to Kimetsusai in Japan, which is like the Demon Slayer festival that they have there. It's basically a convention dedicated to only Demon Slayer. And it was amazing. We got to do a panel with the Japanese cast and chat with them a bit. And then we got to watch a live reading, stage reading of
Oh, that's cool.
the last arc, the latest arc. And it was awesome. We got to hang out and chat a bit, and they're crazy talented, and they're all so nice and funny and polite, and it was a good time. I like watching Alex interact with his Japanese counterpart, and he's goofy, and they make each other laugh. It was so sweet. Like, I think Shimono-san's wife brought in some snacks for Alex. Like, it was adorable. Because they've met before, and this was my first time meeting Kito-san. So yeah, hopefully we'll meet again. I'm hoping that they come to the States for a panel here. That would be great.
That'd be cool.
Next world tour, I guess. We seem to
Yeah.
alternate, so
Yeah.
here's
Yeah.
hoping.
Now, as you've been with these characters for a little bit now, is there anything that has surprised you?
So many things.
That's fair. Okay.
About the characters, about the fan reception, about anything.
I mean, I gotta say, like, obviously from the get-go, I'm doing horrible things, but when I was like little boy Muzan, that scene shocked me. Like,
Yeah.
It's just because I just wasn't expecting in that cute little package such awfulness, and it was actually really cool. I mean, I felt it was kind of exhilarating working on that episode because I loved my interaction with Lucian, who voices Akaza, and then when he just like kind of goes off, it was like, okay, it was. I feel it feels good to me to be shocked by this show because I think that keeps me as edgy as I can be when bringing it to the role.
Yeah, I loved that too about your character, Greg, because it's interesting how we see how Muzan has from the beginning kind of a darkness to him, whereas other demons are affected by the world and the darkness is, it's almost imposed on them or it happens to them and they fall into it. Muzan's always been a jerk.
Yeah, he's been pretty bad. I mean, he was ill, and that sucks. But not everybody jumps immediately to, oh, how I wish I could kill all of them right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So did finding out the cool story, still murder backstory change your approach to him at all?
Not really, because I mean, as Abby said, you find out that it'd be one thing if he had some humanity early on that you might want to then sort of drizzle in at some point to catch a glimpse of later. But because he was just pretty dark from the get-go, there wasn't a whole lot of adjustment that I think needed to be done.
That's fair.
Katie, you had a. Go ahead, Abby.
No, I was just gonna say, like, as far as Nezuko goes, the surprising things for me are scenes like when I don't know if you guys remember when there's like that buff Nezuko scene.
Yes.
Just little bits like that where it's like hilarious to me. Yeah, there's always surprises with Nezuko.
I think that's about the summary of the character. Yes, there's always surprises. Every season we pull out something brand new and you just go, has she always been able to?
Yeah.
Nope, Swiss Army knife demon, amazing. So, coming in with the silly question for your character, what songs would you put on it?
Oh, that's it.
This is also a way of me going, what bands do you listen to? I need new things for my Spotify.
Well, I'm like, I don't know if Nezuko would listen to the same bands that I like.
But what would you, if you did one like representing her, like, oh, these songs remind me of her, not necessarily her taste, but yours?
Oh, I would put Starlight by Muse. I would put.
Yeah.
Greg, you go. Let me think.
I would.
Is that Greg? You are a musical person. So.
I would have a lot of like Rammstein. And then that song Berserker that was in Clerks, that would be another good one. I think that's very Muzan-y. And then maybe just like to throw a curveball, like for when he's in his laboratory and stuff, like a whole bunch of Enya. Just to be like, like he has his moments when he wants to chill out. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Just listening to Only Time and slowly dissecting someone's skull. It's great. It's great.
I think Nezuko might also listen to Enya, so I think they have in common. I just imagine her like folding her kimono, listening to Enya. Yeah.
I could also imagine Muzan listening to a lot of classical in that sort of Hannibal Lecter kind of way.
100%.
Yeah. Actually, that's probably the more artistic choice. Yeah.
Just hire a violinist to play while he does all these awful things.
Nezuko would probably be into K-pop. Yeah.
Which bands?
See, that's where we differ. I don't know anything about K-pop.
Oh, me neither.
So
Blackpink for sure. She'd be way into Blackpink.
Blackpink.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Nezuko into baby metal, though. Can you see it?
100%. Oh my god, that's a good one. Yeah. Baby metal.
Like I said, we had to come in with the silly question.
And I feel we could keep going on forever, but since we're towards the end of our time, what are you currently working on that you can let people know about, or what's your next upcoming convention to let people know to come find you?
So last week I had a few shows come out. There's Mission Yozakura Family, and I voiced Mutsumi in that. Mutsumi. And I'm in Rising Impact as Kiria. She is the teacher teaching a little boy who's really annoying some golf. And there's a show called Ishura on Disney Plus. I voiced Kia, the world word, and I have some cool powers. So check that out. And next appearance, I think it's Connecticon in the middle of July at some point. So come see me in Connecticut, folks.
All right.
I will. I mean,
You will
I'm
not.
busy. I'm so busy. I would love people to check out my show Grimsburg. That is, it ran on Fox Sunday nights amidst Simpsons and Great North and all that business. It's now on Hulu. You can stream the whole first season, and I play Lieutenant John Kang, who is a upper middle-aged Korean police lieutenant. So very on brand for me. One Punch Man season 3 teaser is out, and it looks really freaking cool. I don't think there's any dub of it. I think it's just sub, but it's for the visuals and just the intensity of it. It's super cool. And then I don't know if I'm necessarily supposed to talk about this, but I tweeted a trailer for you Persona fans for a game called Metaphor. So you can watch the trailer. I'm not saying I have anything to do with it, but you might hear a familiar voice on the trailer. And my next appearance is August, Sacramento, Comicverse.
All right.
So hopefully see you there.
And final thing, so where can people find you online if they're not already following you, which they should be, but in case they're not? Where's a good spot to find you? Abby.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Abby Trott, just my name. And I'm on TikTok too at abby.trott, but I barely use TikTok, so maybe don't follow me there. I don't know.
It's quality content, in case you know.
It's the rare
Hey,
Abby
the
TikTok.
5 videos I made are great.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I just watch them over and over.
And
He's all your views.
Yeah. I'm pretty much Greg Chun VA everywhere. So if you YouTube, this, that, IMDb, like, anyway, I want it to be universal because I'm anal like that.
And Greg's a
Fair
pro
enough.
streamer too.
Oh, yeah. Twitch. Yeah. Check out my Twitch stream. I definitely don't curse ever.
That's fine.
Neither do I on mine. It's fine. It's fine.
Abby, we got Giga Derek says, see you at ConnectCon.
Woohoo.
Netacon.
See
There
you
we go.
there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you more and hearing you more ahead.
Thank you for
Thank you so
having
much.
us.
Thank you so
Wonderful
much
to
for
see
having
you.
us. This is awesome.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Have a good night, you guys.
Bye. All right. Yay!
What lovely human beings.
Yes.
They're so good. They're so
mean,
good.
It is that thing of it's wonderful people, but they play some. Well, at least Nezuko's okay.
I don't know. Nezuko's taken a couple heads off in her lifetime, but I don't think she ever dissects them in a lab.
No, she's like trying to figure out what's going on. But yes, huge thank you again to Greg and Abby for joining us. It was fun diving into their approach and being with the show and everything. And so go follow them online. So now we will get our
I'm
banner
going to
back.
start keeping that playlist question in the back pocket. That's a fun one.
I think that's a good one. Wait, I'm gonna wait. Oh, there we go. I was getting a little taller with you. Thank
Yay.
you. Looking over at the chat. Also, Giga Derek goes, greetings from the dark side of the moon. Greetings. And then we didn't really get as much time before, but my joke, which I told our guests, was this is my Muzan, my Muzan pail for this evening. It just seemed to be especially so.
I'm telling you, we just got to get you a screen. It's got its own white balance.
I know, but it's I like my background too.
I know.
Experiment. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you everybody who's been tuning in so far for this. So if you are new here, welcome. Make sure you are following Fanversation, subscribe. We're going to get into some quick anime news, and then we will talk about the newest episode, Demon Slayer, which and our new show that we're covering is Go Go Loser Ranger.
Yes.
And we will also have recommendations or recommendations maybe to avoid, depending, at the end of other stuff that we're checking out. So stick around for all of that. We still got the live chat going, so chime on in. So let's get into things we're excited about.
To start, this is more of a local event, but this is the sort of thing where if you are in town in LA for my brain went Anime Los Angeles, like that's not the right one, for Anime Expo or at all in the month of July, they are going to have a pop-up cafe called Ton Tokotan based on Akiba Maid War in Little Tokyo. So that's opening on June 28th is the starting day. It's going to be going through July 28th. It will have evening and weekend shows. It's rated PG-13, and if you watch Akiba Maid War, you know why. So if you are in town, definitely check that out. I will be going on Thursday, actually. So keep an eye out on the Fanversation socials for coverage of that event. I am looking forward to it. I am both frightened and extremely excited. I cannot wait.
Nice. I love pop-up events, and those are just a fun way to experience your favorite shows. And that'd be something to check out. I agree. Yeah, if you're in the area at that time, get it.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I just find it particularly funny that you go to the Black Butler event, which is in this beautiful cafe with a speakeasy and there's butlers, and I go to the maid cafe based on the anime where they kill each other. So
Nice.
like I'm here for this duality of man thing we have going on. Like I said, I'm very excited. I sent in the RSVP right when I got the email, and I've never done a maid cafe before, so
fun.
yeah, I'm excited for this.
Yes.
So yeah, if you are in LA for AX, if you're in San Diego for Comic-Con and coming in a couple days early, wouldn't mind taking the train up an hour or two to come say hi. Like it's a fun event.
Nice. And looking, yes, okay. And then speaking of events, we're talking big screen coming to theaters. Crunchyroll has acquired the North American theatrical rights for the Japanese pop singer Lisa's concert film. Live is Smile Always Lander. I'm like, yes, okay.
That is we wanted it to say Lisa. It truly is.
Yeah. Yes, I see it now.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love it. So this is going to be coming to select theaters. So it's a concert film coming to select theaters on August 17th, 18th, and 21st. And that's looking here, tour. It's featured the sixth original album, and brought the popular singer-songwriter across Japan to over the course of 19 dates. So it's a great way to catch a concert, if you weren't able to see it internationally. And you can also watch Lisa's past performance, music, and performance videos on Crunchyroll. And you can follow Crunchyroll for more information. But again, coming to theaters on August 17th, 18th, and 21st. Make sure to check your local theater listing for that info. And we will, where to go? Yes, check out NTATNV over on Twitter, and we'll post photos and links and things in case you want to check that out another way. Boom. There
yes. Continuing on with Crunchyroll, guys, we got the big one. We have Crunchyroll's Summer 2024 anime lineup. So, the biggest hits: Tower of God Season 2, Nier Automata version 1.1a, Bye Bye Earth, Wistoria, Wand and Sword, Nare Nare Cheer for You, Senpai is an Otokonoko. Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. That is such a great title. Mayonaka Punch, Twilight Out of Focus, and more. Additionally, we're also going to have the One Piece Egghead Island arc, My Hero Academia Season 7, which is already ongoing. That time I got reincarnated as a slime Season 3, and Dead Demons DDD Destruction will be continuing as well. So, guys, we're going to go through a couple titles. I've got the document. It's 7 pages long. We're not doing all 7 pages. I love Crunchyroll very much. I'm not going to read you literally every show because we did
follow
hit
them to find out more.
Absolutely. We did hit the big ones. Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Senpai is an otokonoko is one that looks really interesting to me. Twilight Out of Focus. All of these are hitting on July 4th, by the way.
Nice.
So for this, if you are at Anime Expo having a great time checking stuff out, and then you need something to do in the evening because you're partied out and you just need to vibe, Crunchyroll's got you covered with premieres. July 5th gives us Nier Automata. July 7th, Tower of God Season 2, Wisteria Wanted Sword, Nari Nari Cheer for You. Man, July 7th is stacked. July 8th is Mayonaka Punch. July 9th is No Longer Allowed in Another World, which is something I'm immediately interested in just from the title alone. July 12th gives us Bye Bye Earth. And yeah, those are most of our premieres. And then again, we have our continuing from spring 2024, Spice and Wolf, Dead Demons, DDDD Destruction, One Piece, My Hero Academia, Slime, Yagaratsu, Case Closed, Wonderful Precure, and Chibi Maruko-chan. So it sounds like we have a lot of continuing seasons this time around, which is not a bad thing, and some pretty heavily stacked premieres. So again, follow Crunchyroll's socials for this. There's Senpai is in a Tokonoko. They posted the trailer, and that's why I'm interested in it. That looks really good. So they post trailers on their Instagram. They post stuff on their Twitter. So follow Crunchyroll socials for more news on all of that. And, just tool around the app. Set up your different profiles for your different genres.
Yes, that is a very useful tool. I do that with Netflix.
I'm so happy Crunchyroll has profiles now. Just so happy.
All right. So I was going to say, speaking of Crunchyroll, what you watch over on Crunchyroll, we are continuing our Demon Slayer.
Can we talk about that 2-minute walk of shame at the end? Oh my God. I actually timed this from the end of the ending theme to when the music cut. It was another 2.5 minutes. And I just... we hit that bit right before the ending theme going, oh my God. And then you realize, oh, there's a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
The post-credit scene, I understand they wanted to do the rest of the song. I love Hyde's vocals, not going to lie. I've got that song on my Spotify. It's amazing. But we went from the tension of he's going to get got, to get on with it. Literally yelled, get on with it while we were watching it. That's... Man, if you want to destroy your tension, that is how you do it. Just, I get that they wanted to play the rest of the ending theme, but also yikes. Like, guys, there's gotta be another way to do it.
Do the thing where the visuals on one side and the credits are rolling on the other.
Yeah.
Like, that happens with Bollywood movies. The movie keeps playing above and credits down here, or it's on the side and they go up on the side. Let's do it.
But they did play the back half of the song that isn't usually played during the credits.
Yeah, but
so they didn't have credits for it.
But you could... That's true. Okay.
Honestly, I would have loved, cutting away to the other Hashira, to our other characters, one person who knows everyone's in danger, and the others just living their lives as we cut back to Muzan walking as slow as humanly possible, and then cut to just give us something interesting visually, because oh my God. And the mistimed Foley on the footsteps, I was dying. By the time we hit the end, the Foley was mistimed. Men's dress shoes, if you get a click like that, it's from the hard heel, not the leather sole. So the shoes he was wearing, the click was starting to hit when the ball of the foot went down, and it's like, no, it's the heel. And he's walking heel toe, so you should have the click at the beginning. They got that right before the credits. And then it started getting offbeat afterwards. And I'm just like, by the end of this scene, I'm sitting here going, look, I know he's going to die. Get on with it. You're making me crazy. Like, I'm sure that's not what they were going for, but boy, is that the effect they had.
No, Laura says, Busan just hit the Demon Slayer with the smooth criminal.
Oh my God. Annie, are you okay? No, none of us
yeah.
are okay.
No, Laura also says, hello.
Hello.
My demon salary, peace and sleep. Michael Jackson has arrived. Yes. I like this one. Gigador goes, I expected a jump scare in the middle when the camera just stayed on the doorway.
I know, right?
Okay. The only way I semi-justify it was like, what is it? Like, what is it? So I'm assuming the entire space is like a barrier that he has to walk through slowly. Like, this is when you're doing dance or workout and they're like, imagine you're moving through slime or mud and you can't just move through it. So I was like, fine. It's not just at the entryway that there's a barrier. It's like the entire space until he gets to that last bit. And that's why it was so slow with all the smoke and mist and stuff around him. But it was
when you have to come up with an explanation like that, there is a failure for the scene.
That's what I thought it was. Because what was all that stuff around him? Why did it keep going?
Dramatic effect.
No, it feels like it's a barrier that he, like, and it makes sense that they would have enacted some kind of like barrier spell, if you will, something that I go, sure. So he just has to move through it very slowly, even though he is that powerful. But that means the other ones never came in because they couldn't even get that far. So let us know what you think about that walk. Was it justified? Did they explain it? Was it a bit like, yo, let's go.
Oh my God.
Comment down below.
It was long enough that it broke its own tension. And that's not a good thing to have.
Yeah.
It's a horror anime. The bits right before the credits were incredible. Right after the credits was very tense. But by the time we hit literally 2.5 minutes, it was like, I literally said it full on Monty Python and the Holy Grail, get on with it. To the TV, just like someone edit that together for me. Muzan walking and then the full get on with it sequence, like, because that's what this is. It's just you kill your own tension when you wait that long. There is a balance for horror stuff, for scary things, for keeping that tension without losing your audience. And I think this one lost it. I don't think this one did it. I think that keeping the rest of the song there and pacing that giant walk of shame to the rest of the song, having him cross the courtyard in real time, was a detriment to the show.
I feel this is the new name. I don't recognize it. So hello, Master V877, or not as often. Was that walk the only reason the episode was extended?
No. We got the normal episodes.
Yeah.
Normal episodes are 23, 24 minutes. This one was 31. So it would have been 40 with commercials. And then our season finale is going to be 60 with commercials. So probably like 49, 50. So no, we did get more content in this episode. It was longer. And it wasn't just the 2.5 minute walk of shame. There was an extra 5 or so minutes of backstory or training or whatever else. This was a longer episode, and you could feel it in all the bits before the credits. Like, I praise this season's pacing with the exception of that 2.5 minutes, because there was a lot before the credits. Like, it kept taking me by surprise. Like, oh, we're still going. Oh, right, it's a longer one. But that wasn't a, God, this is taking forever. It was a, oh, I'm used to it ending right about now. Cool, there's more.
Yes.
So, again, pacing was great, except for that.
Speaking of backstory, loving that we got the Stone Hashira's backstory. Lara says, but the Stone Hashira, Parintandro's head knowing, so I like that.
Padding. Yeah, I think that was the typo.
Patting his head, knowing his backstory, and it's my heart. How dare you, Demon Slayer? How dare you, sir? Yes. I thought that backstory is really great, that we didn't know anything about him. And this is another one of pseudo tying in the show, which was a lot. And in Dungeon Meshi, food is important for training and getting muscles and getting big and strong. Because they're like, oh, you're too small, and here's my food. Oh, that precious child. And he's like, no, it's okay. But then I wasn't strong enough to defend them, and now he's giant.
He
can't
actually was. They just ran. It was,
Yeah.
and I mean, can you blame a frightened kid? Truly,
Yeah. Yeah.
just it was. Golly, so many of these are just. And then a demon showed up and slaughtered my whole family. I'm like, this is the third time we've had that backstory, and it continues to hold true.
I was waiting. I'm like,
I'm not
everybody's
complaining.
happy and chilling, and I'm like, little shit, it's gonna go bad soon. But F that kid who was like, yeah, don't kill me. You can kill my family if you spare me.
That kid's design, just compared to the other kids, he had. And I don't know how else to describe this. He had a more anime design than the other kids. There was a little more shonen protagonist about him in face shape, eyebrow shape, the stone he was wearing. Like, have we seen him anywhere else?
I don't remember him from anything else.
Like, neither do I, but we are in season. Is it season 4? Season lots. Season
4.
many. Yeah. So I don't know if we've seen him elsewhere. I don't know if he became a demon lots of families getting wrecked by demons. Well, that's what happens when you don't believe the threat exists.
That too,
I
love their plant, the wisteria plant,
the wisteria incense,
just in case.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And the kid having to take that barrier down because, like, hey, it's effective as long as there's not sabotage. But again, the design on that kid is just like, are we going to see you again? Are we going to see you again? Who are you?
Or it will be important later if the Stone Hashira sees them again.
I guess. I mean,
like that might be something later.
I don't even know if they're still alive. He did say 4 kids and then 3 kids, and that there were 8 kids total. Like, yeah, they may not still be alive. Someone in the chat, please check whether that kid died in the flashbacks. Just like, if he did, they probably showed him in the pile of bodies on screen and I missed it.
Master V says, the kid who let the demon in was in Zenitsu's flashback in season 1. He was bullying him, but we didn't see his face.
Yo, what? I need to go back and rewatch season 1. What the heck? Okay. All right.
No, Laura.
My design senses were tingling and I was right. Okay, cool.
Says, for the record, the backstabber is the same kid who made fun of Zenitsu during his lightning breathing training during season 1 flashback. So, all right. Thank you, chat, for confirming that.
Thank you. Vindicated.
My other co-star here is yelling at everybody outside.
So then, circling back to the letter Zenitsu got.
Yeah.
I don't know what it, and no spoilers in the chat. We're not reading the manga. Spoilers. We're not looking ahead. Like, no spoil. You guys are very good about this. We just want to, reiterate every time for the new humans who are very enthusiastic. We love your enthusiasm, but also no spoilers. Yeah, my guess for that, because it's his grandpa who was training him.
I was going to say
my guess is that his grandpa's dead. Yep.
100%. That's what I thought immediately when he was very stone cold about it. And so
I know what I have to do no matter what. Yeah. And he was bleeding from the face. I'm like, hey, buddy, what are you up to?
Yep.
Zenitsu? I don't know if we're going to get an answer for that this season, especially since things just took a hard left turn and then a very, very slow walk at the end of the credits there. Yep. So, yeah. But that, man.
Also, do appreciate that finally somebody sees the eyeball thing, is aware of that. Like, oh, we're fucked. I'm glad somebody noticed them because they all got some spidey sense in a way, and none of them went, until now. So I was a little bit really, but whatever.
I mean, the only time we saw anyone even vaguely twigging on them were the 2 Demon Slayer core members earlier on that were like, one of them pranked the other when they were on watch. And then they kind of did the whole, hey, did you know? So I really do think that these little eyeballs are stealthy enough to mostly stay out of sight because, again, it also took a Hashira to figure it out.
That's what I mean. I'm surprised some of the other ones hadn't noticed yet. But No, Laura says, I find it adorable that Tanjiro is worried about Zenitsu training and now Nezuko is doing is just adorable.
Well,
Yeah, is she okay? Again, no spoilers for this, please, but I would hope, and I don't know if they went this direction, but I'm like, please, she's also training because we need to get her to train too, because there's so much power and potential there. And guess what? She'd be an even better assist, because we're not going to have her be the main one, but she'll be an assist. But if she knew what she was doing, I'm like, But at least who she's staying with, I would believe he would do that with her. So I'm like, please, 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 please. They might not.
The second we saw, she was asleep.
Yeah.
So,
but she also does.
And then they did do the whole. Yeah, but they also explained very early on for her. It's like, oh, she doesn't need to eat. She doesn't need to eat people to survive. She can sleep, and it does the same thing, allows her to heal, etc. So it makes me wonder if after all of the excitement of this last season, she is just passed out. Just like, okay, we did a lot.
Or team her up with Love Hashir because they hang out and like each other anyways, and like just get some movement training something. Yeah. I don't know. I would appreciate it, but
it's not safe for her to be anywhere near there. And I mean, the fact that they knew that, and that showing that all of the Demon Slayer Corps, all the members are being spied on, so they can place them on the map.
True.
Like, I'm wondering if them finding the mansion was just following one of them as they reported in.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, my guess would be that's what happened.
Oh, I read it on, I don't know if it was Crunchyroll's Twitter or a Demon Slayer Twitter, but apparently Inosuke has a crow, but it stays away from him because he tried to eat it. And that tracks, and I find that hilarious.
That tracks.
Yep. Oh, and poor Zenitsu's little sparrow.
I love his little baby sparrow. He was trying so hard. Also, everyone else has a crow, and you've got like the world's angriest chickadee. Like, I do love him though. I love that.
I love that sparrow so much.
Like, a baby delivering presumably bad news.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get our trio being inspired by each other, and Tanjiro gets the thing done, and inspiring Inosuke of like, oh, I got to get better too. And I'm like,
the fact that Inosuke is just yelling tempura, 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 and pushing it. And like, I appreciate that clarity of thought. Cat's down there. I was going to try and pick her up.
I could hear you're a co-star. Yeah.
Yep. No, she wasn't having it. She rarely does.
She's all, nope.
I do appreciate our Stone Ashura just standing over Tanjiro and expositing his whole backstory with no prompting. Like, I appreciate you, sir. That's honestly kind of funny. Tanjiro's just collecting everyone's backstories. But also, the confirmation that he's blind and has been blind. I'm just sitting here like, he's got no pupils. Is this a design choice? Well, yeah, it's a design choice, but it's form and function. Like,
I do like Tanjiro going, oh, you're blind? Yeah. No, I was going to say maybe Tanjiro is one of those people that people just tell him things.
Oh, yeah.
Because
absolutely,
there are plenty of people like that people just start telling them things. So I feel Tanjiro's that. But then we also get that confirmation of, I want to essentially interview you. Okay, you are a pure soul and you're not selfish intentions. But also along the realm of, he is still Tanjiro is still human and not perfect, and Tanjiro admitting, I try to do my best. And actually, Nezuko's amazing. It was her idea, and I love that too. I'm like, yay!
The Nezuko is the one that made that choice. Nezuko is the one that saved their lives. I was hesitating.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, takes a village to save a village. I guess
props do, and not claiming it, which makes sense for him as well. So yeah, I mean, I know that there were things about the pacing which were maybe a little weird with this episode, but I felt
just the end.
It was a good we're getting ready for that finale. So I'm like, all right. And I'm excited because this was 30 minutes. And so I think the next one's supposed to be more like 45 or an hour.
Yeah,
These days.
it was an hour. The article I read said that today's would be 40, but that was including the time for commercials in Japan, and that next week's would be an hour. So again, my
Okay.
assumption would be somewhere
Maybe that'll
between
be
45 to
45-ish.
50.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
a good guess.
But yeah, I love how much Genya has calmed down around Tanjiro.
Yes,
I love that we're actually getting to talk to him. That
Yeah.
he's not the official like gonna be replacement for the Stone Hashira. He's not I can't remember the title, what they were calling them. It's like I can't officially be that because I can't do the sword technique thing, but he did make me his apprentice because I do have that potential. Talking about well, she gets mad at me. Well, she just gets mad at you because she's concerned. You think so? Yeah. Just these little conversations that they have and just the little head tilts and it's so damn cute. It's
We
so
had
good.
a lot of Tanjiro face that was hilarious this episode too.
Oh my god. Yes.
The dehydration.
Oh my god. It's just the like no, that looks about right. That
Reminder,
is good.
drink your water. Don't forget to drink your water.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Inosuke
still...
looking dead ass at the camera. I'm not done with mine yet. Like, are you informing us? Because that was dead ass telling the audience. And then getting on Genya's case for not just that whole fight with Inosuke not knowing when to shut up. And Tanjiro just sitting on him. Like, that is peak older sibling behavior.
Yep.
Sitting on him to get them to calm down. Like, amazing. Yep. I love it.
Looking over at the chat, Master V877 says, it's funny seeing Inosuke and Genya have their little DBZ fight. Also, I wonder how long Inosuke would last against the Wind Hashira. Ooh.
I mean, long enough to get up to the Stone Hashira.
Well, no, if they fight.
Oh. Just, I love Inosuke very much, but, like, he is such a wild card.
Yes.
But I don't think the fact that Tanjiro saw Wind and Water having their sparring match and had that moment of, oh, I can see their movements now, when that was not the case before. That is the big level up there.
Yes.
Is I can't even keep track of them. I can't, it's all just blurs. And now going, okay, I can see the blow by blow. I can see them moving. That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Ufotable really out here like, we got this.
Yes. If there were other moments that stood out to you all watching, leave comments down below.
Red bean mochi.
Yes.
When that came up with the whole, are you fighting over red bean mochi? I sat there and went, was there a translation pun in here that I missed? Was there like a play on words in this conversation where the pun didn't translate to English? Like, that is what I thought happened because it came so quickly out of nowhere. Nope, it's Tanjiro leaping to conclusions.
Yes. And then later when they explain it, he's like, oh.
You know, I'm gonna start keeping snacks in my sleeve, and then I'll give him one every time we meet, and then he'll be my friend. And I'm like, are you socializing a stray cat? That is stray cat strategies. That is literally socializing a cat or getting to know your local murder of crows or whatever. Like, it's that kind of strategy.
Yeah. No, Laura says, Tanjiro telling Giyu and Wind Hashira, let's eat together. Wind Hashira's like, no, get away from me.
And I love that we got the golly, both of them just rolling 4s on intelligence checks and going, maybe I'll feed him mochi. Oh, I think he'd like that. Oh, I think I'll try that too. Oh, that's a good idea. Smash cut to the Wind Hashira going, what is that guy's problem? What is wrong with him? Like, sir, it's what is wrong with you, but also funny as hell.
So, Kikadera saying, does Giyu and Sunmei fight was neat. Does Giyu have a training camp?
He said he wasn't participating, but then he said he would. Because that was Tanjiro convincing him.
Yeah.
So I think Tanjiro might have been the first person to pass the boulder trial.
Yeah.
So
maybe he's next? if we get any. So
If
we'll
we
see.
get any.
Yeah, it might
I
keep jumping next. Or
Yeah.
they'll be like, well, that was good training. Moving on. Like they might do that.
because we still
We
have
have
to
a
figure
lot
out
to cover.
we got to figure out how the walk of shame plays out. And then whether or not anyone is able to actually get the news out that something happened. Like, I don't think anyone is just calling it the walk of shame. Goddamn. 2.5 minutes to roll up and be like, nice to meet you. You look like shit. Okay. Excellent post-credit scene. We love this. Wonderful. I keep harping on it. I think it's funny. But that little bit of nice to meet you, you look like shit was actually quite good. So we do have to see how this plays out, if anyone's going to know what happens. I doubt that anyone's going to be able to get there in time to intervene.
No, probably
And
not.
let's be real, if they did, they'd probably be dead. It truly is a matter of, where are the kids? Was anyone able to send a crow? Did anything happen? Like, no, we're calling it the walk of shame. I'm sorry. It's too funny to me.
No, Laura
It's too
says it's
funny
not
to
the
me.
walk of shame. It was on Michael Jackson entrance. Yeah, no, I like walk of shame.
He could have moonwalked and it wouldn't take him 2.5 minutes.
That's true. All right. Well, we will just have to
Anyway.
wait and see. Thank you all for not spoiling it, because we're only covering what's in the anime, which we get our season finale for next week. But I think that's it for now, because now we have another show to talk about.
From finales to premieres.
Here premieres. We got our Go-Go Loser Ranger. This is one Katie had already been watching a bit, and now the dub just dropped. So if you're watching dub or sub, awesome. And I went and watched the sub, and I listened to some of the dub, but then I was like, I'm okay with the sub. Though the way Hulu does their subtitles on screen is interesting.
It's the hard of hearing subtitles.
They're big. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I don't hate it, but it is a little bit of getting used to.
I've been watching the sub because we've been watching it as it released. I am going back and
Sure.
watching through the dub. And honestly, the dub is hilarious.
Dub is
Like,
very funny.
I love the sub, but my God, some of the comedic timing and delivery on the dub, especially with some of the fighters, is so good.
I think some of it too, and this, I'm not totally sure, but I would say some of the comedy too is if in English you get so much, we understand the tonal comedy, and in Japanese that's maybe not as easy for English speakers, native English speakers, to understand the same way, because like there was one line that he like the tone or the octave dropped, and that was comedic. And I don't remember. I just watched it in Japanese. I'm like, I don't remember that part being like that. So it just kind of translates differently. So sub and dub are awesome on this, and it's very entertaining. I think the premise is very fun.
It's for those of you who are here for the first time and have not heard me extolling the virtues of this anime. It is what if Power Rangers did the boys. It is a send up of the Sentai genre, but it's hard to explain it aside from what if Power Rangers did the boys. The thing is rotten from the inside out. Yes. Let's take a look.
It's not as graphic as the boys though, because I was thinking it was go even darker. Though
you've seen 2 episodes.
Yeah, though I was gonna say there are hints, yes, which you've said. There's more later.
Yeah.
And there are hints at stuff being darker.
Oh, episodes 3 and 4 are the point where I went, oh, okay. So you have not hit that point yet. If you're watching along with our coverage and you've only seen the first 2 episodes, it's like, oh yeah, well, it's not as dark as the point. We're not there yet. And episode 8 is when we start getting Hulu putting the warning in front of it going, this is for mature audiences. So
No, Lars says, Go-Go Loser Ranger is a Power Ranger parody that isn't supposed to be funny, but when it hits the mark, it hits the mark.
It is a comedy.
It's comedy. And similar to if we're comparing to the boys, boys has lots of comedy in with how awful things are. It's more the comedy that kind of lures you in the beginning, like meeting these dusters, these putty monsters, essentially. And they are comedic. Like that is done for comedy when they're talking about their base and how they do things. It took me a minute to notice. It was like, oh yeah, duh. their shoulders have what letter they are, and I didn't notice right away. I was like, oh, that's cool. So they're all their letters, and their comedy is great and how they talk to each other. And then, yeah, you learn how everything's just a sham, but they just don't have direction. So they're kind of like, But of course, there is one that's like, nope.
He's tired of this. It's 13 years of this bullshit. So the premise, 13 years ago, alien invasion, big floating fortress came down from the sky, and evidently we had 1 year of like actual Power Rangers versus aliens war. And then the Rangers, the Dragon Rangers, managed to wipe out all of the big bosses, as it were, all of the boss monsters, leaving this handful of the lackeys, the putties, the dusters, and basically went, you get to live, but once a week you come down in this arena and you come up with some sort of creative boss monster that you pretend to be, and we kick your asses, and you go back up here. And you get to live. So...
Which they are immortal, but they still experience pain. Supposedly immortal, except
they regenerate
for certain
everything. But, which is why that first year of the war was evidently real bad. But then the Rangers figured out these things called divine weapons, which were able to kill monsters for good. To stop them from regenerating and just wipe them out. So, turn the tides of the war, but now it's the weekly Sunday showdown, and it's all localized to this one little arena, and just, all of the brand deals, all of the advertising, the fact that if you are watching this on a Hulu plan with ads, that the Red Ranger, after defeating the monsters in the Sunday showdown, goes, oh, that's about right. It's time for an ad break. And then it cuts to ads. Was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great in the sub. It was great in the dub. And I want to talk about the Red Ranger for a minute. For one, this character is such a piece of shit. It's unbelievably good. This is our Homelander. He's just, the audience loves him. He's the head of the team. He's great. And he is just the most rotten human being on the inside. But has that big theatrical presence. The dub voice was driving me crazy because first half of the first episode, it's okay. He sounds like he's putting on an affectation. He's putting on the hero voice in front of the crowds. The thing is, it's giving default hero voice Matthew Mercer to me. And it's not Matt Mercer. It is not. I went and looked up the dubcast. I cannot remember the man's name. He is doing an immaculate job, and I cannot wait to see him really go nuts in these next few episodes. Or just as the series goes on.
Yeah.
But the hero affectation voice is really giving Matt Mercer, and it's not him. So that just kind of, the wires in my brain are crossing like you would not believe watching that. It's not a bad thing. It's just one of those like, oh, sort of moments.
Yeah.
And of course, killing it as Fighter D. Just killing it. So funny.
That character is, it's one of those, I relate. There are those things where you're like, ugh, this is all stupid and this is dumb. Giga Derek says Jonah Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the comedy. I like where I don't remember her name, but the yellow assistant lady.
Suzukiri.
Yes.
It's Suzukiri and Sakuraba, and it took me forever to get those to click in my brain.
I like that I noticed and felt she was weird from the beginning. And then I'm like, yes, she is. But I kind of love it. So we'll see where it goes. Because even from the beginning, the way she's like held his hand, I'm like, she knows what she's doing.
Oh, she clocked him from day one.
Probably.
Just he's so bad. He tries so hard. But the other thing is, she's very good.
Well, she's in R&D, so that's my prediction of R&D, which means research and possibly experimentation. So she probably knows a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it's interesting that the other cadets, they do this white before I guess you choose your department color scheme, though there are some interesting lines on it that I'm like, that looks like underwear.
I know,
But
right? All of them have like those hip straps that kind of have
you're
me
like,
going,
well,
all
what?
right.
Function for what? Um,
What I
Laura goes, remember, kids, if she's crazy, she's worth it. Am I right?
Nope. Doesn't matter what the gender is. The answer is no.
Mm. I
No,
would go, it depends what kind of crazy.
but she's so fun to watch though. Just the very casual, give me
Yeah.
the knife. Like, I didn't even tell you I had it. And just,
Yep.
she's very fun.
She's
She's
very
very,
intelligent and
and
aware.
just,
I like it.
and just these first 2 episodes already having someone going, oh no, I know it's terrible. Help me take it apart. It's like, yes,
Mhm.
queen.
Yep.
I will say, I'm a Miss Fighter F. For me, that was the point where we went from, because the first episode and a half is like, it's still a comedy. It's still a comedy because this was billed to me as a comedy.
Mm.
This was before the whole, hey, it's Power Rangers does the boys thing, because I started watching when there were 4 episodes. So
Yeah.
up through the first 2, I'm like, all right, it's a comedy. This sure is a comedy. I'm enjoying this comedy. And then they kill the best friend character, and I'm like, I don't think it's the kind of comedy I was sold on. And that just the cold open for, I think, the cold open for 4 is the point where I was on the floor.
Also, opener and closer songs, bangers.
Banger!
Both of them. I'm like, okay, these are bops. I am liking them. Yes.
I will send you the links. I found them on Spotify. It took me a few episodes for the opening to grow on me. The closer was immediate banger.
Yeah,
Just
I like both.
immediate for me.
Yeah. No, Laura goes, Go Go Loser Razor went from 0 to Welcome to Hell.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Episode 4 was the one that just fully had me on the floor. So for those who are indecisive about the show as of yet, that 3 and 4 were the clinchers for me. We're still, 1 is, here's the premise. 2 is, here's the stakes. We've killed the best friend. Like,
yes.
Okay.
So,
whoa.
You have some time to catch up. And even if you know what we've just said, it's a fun one to hop into.
Yeah, we will be covering it week to week with the dub release.
Oh my gosh, I thought this too. I may or may not have added the closer dance to a list of things to learn. I was like, that's a cool dance. I was like, yes. I feel I would want to learn that one too. Yeah.
I'm still dealing with a knee injury, so all of this is off the table for me for now. But that dance is right below the Herald of Darkness dance in terms of I will be learning this as soon as I can.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So we're watching along with the dub release. We will be doing 2 episodes a week until we are caught up, because we do have a couple of spots on our schedule this coming month where we are taking breaks after large conventions. So 2 a week till we're caught up, and then we will be going with the dub release. Again, for those of you who are new to watching this, new to watching along, if you are on the more sensitive side, if you don't handle gore well, you may want to be cautious with this show. It goes places. Again, the comparison to the boys is apt. And then for those of you who are upset by this, because this hit me like a truck, there is animal death in episode 4. Aww. So yeah, they don't linger, but it's one of those like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So that's your doesthedogdie.com warning. Not sponsored, but it's a very good website for things like that. So yeah, but I love this show. This show is a very fun one.
I'm definitely digging it. Yeah.
And I've definitely had more than one instance watching this where I'm just sitting here going, what? I need to know more. Where's the next one? So yeah.
Yay.
Well, I can't wait for you to see the next 2 episodes and like really, like 3 and 4 are the make or break for people, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. Chat, I hope you're watching this along with us. I hope you're enjoying this. I know a couple of you are, and I appreciate you guys. I hope everyone else is. Yes. I love this dang show. It's very, very good. I want to know who your favorite characters are.
I haven't attached to anybody too much just yet, but we'll see. Yeah, because it's still only 2 episodes in. But
Yes.
all right. Well, let us know your thoughts on Go Go Loser Ranger down below. Only in the first 2 episodes, though, for now. And we'll cover more later.
Yes.
All right. So now let's get into stuff you should check out or avoid, depending. I like to include that now.
What did you watch this week that you keep bringing that up?
It's a medium. Okay. One to check out that is cool. I only got to see the. I finished some things. So I watched all of Sugar, which is on Apple Plus. It is. I like where it goes. It does go places that I think some people may or may not like, and I'll just say that. Don't look into it because the less you know, the better. But overall, cool detective and very LA show. So I did really like that one, and it's only like 8 episodes, and they're only about half hour, so it's pretty short. House of Ninjas started the first episode of that. That's on Netflix, and it's a family of ninjas, and they're kind of retired-ish in Japan, and their services are requested, but do they go back in and because they lost someone on a mission, so it's do we go back? Do we want to risk losing anyone again? But it's comedic, it's action, it's a quirky idea because it's secretive that they have those other lives. So that's that. And I finished Ragtime Cowboys. That was a book I had talked about. It's a book on CD. It's a historical fiction. It ends well. It's not necessarily super exciting, but it was still interesting. And if you like anything about historical fiction stuff, it's set in the Prohibition 1920s-ish California, Southern California and Northern California, like Sonoma, San Francisco, LA. Really interesting. That was one that I'm like, all right, finish that up. Okay, so the one that I'm like, I am kind of curious on your thoughts if anybody's seen this. I watched speaking of Trigger Warning, I watched Trigger Warning, which is Jessica Alba's new movie on Netflix, and it was okay. I don't know what I would have done necessarily more. I wanted maybe more action because she does some action and it's cool, but there wasn't quite enough. And the editing is weird. It is so weird. And normally editing doesn't bother me, but so I'm like, okay, if I notice it, that means it's really bad. Probably. They go from like one
stands out in a good way or stands out in a bad way. Either way, it stands out.
Yes. And I'm not talking we're doing a jump cut from one place to another and in like a very artsy film where it works. This is one that I'm like, how did we get here? Where did I close my eyes too long and fall asleep and like miss a scene? And that happens a few times where we suddenly go boom, boom, boom. We are jumping along and it's a little like, what? So I don't know. I felt it was okay. I liked it better than Bricklayer, which I talked about that one on a previous episode where that one I was like, so this was a little better. Let me know if anybody watched it. What'd you think? So yeah, it's okay. But so that's my anyways. But Katie, what about you?
I have really not been doing the new media thing. Just it has been one of those, sometimes you have those days and weeks and months where you're just like, no, only the comfort of the familiar. So I've been watching Jacksepticeye play the new Elden Ring DLC that just dropped, and it's very fun. It's very fun watching someone who plays FromSoft games for fun, has them memorized, knows them backwards and forwards, going into new content and getting absolutely shellacked by brand new stuff he's never seen before. Just run roughshod. So it's very fun to be like, oh, okay, because evidently the that DLC does not mess around. Evidently, FromSoft took some notes from the complaints, and it's very difficult. So that has been my watching as of late. He's basically released 10 hours worth of content in 4 days, and I'm having a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looking
Some
over
days that's just what it be.
Yes. No, fair. It's one of those. It was nice to. I had a couple of random days to be like able to finish things, and you're like, oh, good. Now that's the thing that like took forever and finished. Look at the chat. Giga Derek says not anime, but the pop out concert with Kendrick and friends was incredible. If you missed it, there are plenty of YouTube recordings from Amazon Prime. All right. I think I had seen a few different posts already, so that's cool. If you're watching, reading, games, whatever that you think people should check out, leave comments down below on your recommendations. And that brings
And
us
if you're
to
going to
the
be at AX next week.
yes, which I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not this weekend, but next week. It's like,
Yeah, I know, right? What the hecky?
yeah, we're like, cool. It's weeks away. We're getting ready, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like here. So
It's like, oh, it's 9 days. Cool.
Yeah.
Day 0 is in 9 days.
So
What?
if you are going there, make sure to be following us on Fanversation social media as well as our own, because we will be there. And reminder,
Indeed.
we will not have a show the Monday after Anime Expo because we will be exhausted.
Mhm.
But make sure to stay tuned for content, and we will bring you cool stuff on social. And okay. Yes. So thank you everybody who joined us in the live chat. Maybe some new people. So thank you so much for tuning in. And again, thank you to our guests for joining us earlier. Yay!
Wonderful
And-
human beings whom we adore.
Yes. And Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I'm also a co-host on Silver Screams, which is the horror channel that I do with my roommate.
And y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And I was like, nothing specifically new, but in case you missed it, I have my Black Butler interview. I think I still had it linked down below in the description, or you can check it out here on the Fanversation channel. Make sure to follow Fanversation and give the, subscribe, notification bell so you don't miss anything, and, give the video a thumbs up. And yeah, just stay tuned because AX is going to be a wild ride. So,
Gonna be a wild one.
This one, NTATMB.
Yes.
Make sure to follow us over there on Twitter as well.
We do sometimes live tweet panels from AX, and that's what it's going to be on.
There we go. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.